Hey everybody, Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar today. We're here with Dan Wilson for take two. So how you doing, man?
Oh man, doing all right, man. Just got these kids down.
How old are your kids?
Five. I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh man, you got kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Who in your family? I know that it happened in church. We've been through that, but
hmm.
in your was your parents and grandparents part of that?
Well, yeah, my both my parents are pretty musical. Like my dad played drums and bass, and so he taught me how to play those. And then I I kind of just picked up the guitar. We went to the guitar store and he bought me a cheap Squire, and I was just like, oh, how does this thing work? And then my mom, my mom is she sings, and it was weird. I think I get my musical memory from her because she knows the melody and lyrics to like hundreds of standards. So like she was for some reason that it would just stick with her, lyrics
Yeah.
would just stick with her and melody. So she just has this like library of standards in her head that she would sing. When I started playing, she was like, "Oh, do you know there's this song that goes when I fall in love," and she'd
Yeah.
be in the kitchen, I'd be on the floor just trying to like figure it out. So like, well, once you learn that one, learn the shadow of your smile when you are gone.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm like, where is all this coming from?
Yeah. That
So yeah,
Yeah, and those melodies aren't for nothing either. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
yeah, she be hitting all the intervals too.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get back to you. So you were just in Omaha, Nebraska, gigging, man.
yeah, man. I played with great organist named Mitch Town and amazing drummer named Marty Morrison,
Yeah,
and um, and they just like they took care of business, man. I mean, Mitch is like I think one of the as far as the organ goes, he's one of the Midwest best kept secrets. But that's not gonna be for long because like especially for me, I'm after playing with somebody like Joey, and when I hear organist, I'm like, oh man,
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit tough after being with Joey all those years.
yeah, man. I'm just like,
That's a pretty tough gig, man. Well, who's the last guy I played with? Oh, with Joey DeFrancesco. Well, what?
man, I get like, and you don't realize when you're in it, you're just like, oh, everybody plays organ like this, and then, you go play with some other cats, and the left hand. That's the first thing I notice is like the left hand
Right,
is the first thing to falter, and
right.
whenever I hear that, I'm like, ah, but Mitch's left hand is solid. And when I hear an organ player with a solid left hand, like I don't care what their solo chops are. If their
Right.
left hand is not together, I'm like, oh, this is a drag, you
It,
know.
it's really funny. So for people that don't know, we've done a lot. I've done a lot of interviews with organists and people that we featured the organ trio. Left hand is the bass. They're not kicking pedals. A couple of guys kick some pedals, but
Yeah, just for the point on the note.
yeah, just like a drone note kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the left hand is the bass, and if it
Hmm.
ain't solid, nothing's solid. And
Yeah,
so the reason we're talking about the left hand is because that's in an organ trio. That's like if it ain't there, it ain't happening.
man. Yeah, and and as much as I love this album, it's the Larry Young album Unity. I
Mhm.
think it's some of the greatest tunes. It's got Beyond All Limits on there. That's just like the Moon Train, the Zoltan. Just I mean, just incredible, forward thinking harmonically forward thinking tunes on there. But like, sometimes like the left hand, would get a little bit squirrely when he would start soloing. And then but like with Jimmy Smith, that thing is pumping the whole time. you know. And I love Larry Young. I think he really pushed organ music, to you know to new heights. But like, man, when that left hand starts to wiggle a little bit, man, that just woo, that's tough for me.
I hear you, man. I think it was Dr. Lonnie Smith
Uh-huh.
and Dave Stryker. Was Stryker was playing with him. I was talking to Dave about it, and Dave said that Dr. Lonnie Smith said to him, "Man, you look out in that audience, and if they're not doing this, we ain't happening."
Yeah, that is real.
If there ain't the groove going, if they're not, they're not into it, we ain't happening. So that's where it comes from. And I'm going to apologize to Dave, and if I'm misquoting, I don't think I am, but I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But that was basically the story. And,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it comes from, man. That's where it comes from. So you're out in Omaha doing the organ trio thing.
Yeah, we did Des Moines, Iowa first. This great club down there called Noche.
Yeah.
Um, and just like really a really nice place. And then we played at I did a master class and a concert at this place called NOMA, North Omaha Music Association, I believe.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, North Omaha Music and Arts.
Yeah.
It's an incredible facility. It's run by drummer Dana Murray. Um, so it was they treated us really really great. There was a incredible audience. It was nice, man. At the end, there was like a standing ovation. I was it kind of shocked me. I was like, really? You guys not only listen to me play, but you listen to me talk for like an hour. So very understanding audience. So I appreciated that.
Well, I was going to say, I saw you had a really nice article that Bill Milkowski did on you. We're talking about playing every note versus hammer-on pull-offs.
Oh, okay.
And you were made a comment about that, and people like Pat Martino pretty much played he played every note, he picked every note.
Mm,
A lot of guys do.
yeah,
And then a lot of guys, I mean, Joe didn't pick every note. Joe didn't play every note. He slurred a lot,
yeah.
and a lot of guys, slurred a lot. Um, I mean, I know that you know, how conscious of that are you when you're playing? Is that something you're trying to achieve or not trying to achieve, or you come and go
Mm,
with it, or
yeah, well, early on, like when I was first learning, I wanted to be able to play every note,
right?
but I now that I've, halfway matured, I don't find the need to, I just kind of let the phrase dictate whether or not I play
Yeah.
every note, you know.
Well, the reason I
But I,
like
I want to be. I think it's important to be able to articulate every note.
Yeah, so here's the thing about all that. That's exactly the deal. I mean, we all went through a period of time, I think, where picking every note was it. You had to pick every note. You had to pick every note, and people would stand there in the front row as you picking every note. You know how people can be. And then it just um, being hammer-ons and pull-offs and all of that. People like Alan Holdsworth playing legato, and there was whole lot of other people, but he's an extreme example. There is expression in that,
Oh, for
and
sure.
and so I think it's okay. But if you're, to your point, if you're not able to do it, and you have to hammer on, you have to slur, you have to do that in order to pull off a phrase, when the phrase would be a little more happening, if you will, if it
Yeah.
was if it was articulated.
Mm.
then I think it's important to be. I agree with you. I think it's really important to be able to do it and work towards that. And you know, and then slur, legato, whatever you want to call it, hammer on, pull up, you know, as you feel creative. You know, we don't, you know, get a different color off the palette, you know, and stick it on there. Hey,
Yeah.
is there anything you'd like to what is there before we go? Is there anything you'd like to add, subtract, multiply, divide from anything we've talked about?
Well, let me give a special shout out to my first guitar mentor and my number one guitar hero. It's a guy named Arthur Lee Gale.
All right.
Um, this is the like I mean he completely revolutionized the way guitar was played in the church that I grew up in. So like you know, but like before him, there were some great guitar players. There's a guy named Fred Dreyer and Isaac Fontaine. So they were like really they came along in like the 40s and 50s,
Yeah.
and you know they were like almost like Charlie Christian for
Oh,
us. And then and the way they played was similar, but like more of a country twang. And then when Arthur Lee came along, everybody called him Smoke. And when he moved to Akron from New Jersey, he just brought a whole new way of playing. He's playing chord melody. He's playing more blues, and he was he's putting more rhythm in the music,
right.
you know. And I used to have these cassette tapes of him in the 70s and yeah, like yeah, 70s and 80s. And they converted them from 8 tracks, and man, I had those things memorized. Like there's this one and I tell every young guitar player that's coming up in that church now, if you don't know Smoke's solo on Watch Me Lord, pick another instrument. I'm like, if
The
you,
gauntlet's been laid down.
yeah, I was if you don't know that solo note for note, then you need to go play the kazoo or something. You know, because before him, let me see. Oh, there we go. You hear that? All right. So before him, you know, the cats were playing, you know, uh, just like stuff like that.
Raise the guitar up a little bit.
Yeah. So before him, cats were mostly playing almost like the gospel quartet type of them, which was cool. But he brought like he would play stuff like. And man, when I heard that, I was just like, "What type of sorcery is this?" And his uh his solo on Watch Me Lord is sorry. And man, changed my life forever.
I can see why. Because you know, if you think about what was going on the guitar and popular music at the time, to hear that is, you know, that would make a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Arthur Lee Gale.
And is Arthur still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. I just my uncle had his 75th birthday, and I saw him out there. He's had some health challenges,
Yeah.
But you know, we're praying that he comes through that because he's like such a hero for us.
Well, Miguel, if you're listening, you've got one of the top guitar players in the world right now. Excuse me, Dan, don't listen. Who is
Man,
calling you out as the man that inspired him.
he's the man. He's the man.
We all owe you a debt, Arthur. So
Especially me.
yeah, so God bless you, man. Keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, I'm gonna let you run, and you're such a pleasure, man. You're such
Oh
a
man.
pleasure to hang out with and all this. I wish we could do this in person and hang out. I was think you had me thinking about.
Yeah, that's gonna be me tomorrow, man.
You had me thinking about it, man. You had me thinking about it. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be in the South in February.
All right.
Um I'm playing in Savannah uh at Good Times.
Uh-huh.
Um and then the next week I'll be playing at in Hilton Head with that great drummer Quentin Baxter.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned something about the Velvet Note. I'm not sure how far that is away.
Well, I'm a regular at the Velvet Note.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Um,
Thank
and
you.
I'm going to try to run into you in February for sure. So,
Sounds good.
Bakert for Jazz Guitar Today with Dan Wilson, and God bless you, brother. Take care.
Thank you.
Good luck out there tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man.
Later, buddy. Bye bye now.
Have a good one.